Hey Gemini, I hope you guys are doing awesome today. So we're going to be doing your tarot for the month of August. I did do a separate astrology video if you want to check that out. I did cover all of the signs, just addressing the astrology in that one. But for this one, we're going to see what messages we can get from the cards, you know, kind of positioning ourselves energetically in the astrology for you guys. So I hope you guys are doing well. I can definitely sense the frustration. Try to make sure that you're not taking it out on anyone who you live with, you know, whether it's your significant other or your children. There's stagnation right now, right, in your energy. It's not for nothing. Please understand that the delays are happening for a reason. And I know a lot of you were, I got so much hate after my last reading. And I love you guys anyway. It has nothing to do with that, right? I don't take any of that stuff personally because I understand these are very frustrating energies. You know, Pluto finally getting out of your 8th house, but like, when is the change happening? And Saturn and Neptune both being retrograde in the highest point of your chart, having to do with the long-term status of your marriage, your career, your public reputation, your standing in your world, your long-term plans. It's like, oh, can somebody please like press the on button? Because it's feeling like, I just feel like you and Sagittarius especially, like that axis, the Gemini-Sagittarius axis, has felt like you guys have been feeling like you're stuck in a waiting room for what feels like forever and a day, right? Forever and a day. So this retrograde month, I mean, there's so many retrogrades this month, which is all about reassessing, reviewing, revisiting, reconnecting, reevaluating. There is still a lot of that going on. It doesn't mean that there's not going to be forward movement, but your forward movement is going to be best served in your planning. It's going to be best served in behind the scenes planning, editing, planning, whether it's a business that you want to create, a curriculum that you want to write, looking online to see what it is that you want to get into next, doing a lot of whatever it is that you're working on. Maybe you're redoing your house because there's a lot of energy in that 4th house. So maybe you're doing work on a house. A great energy to like sit down and like shop online, but maybe not necessarily purchase because we are in Venus retrograde, right? But that's where the movement is going to be. The movement is going to be very sort of behind the scenes. It's going to be very much in the planning of things. So let's see, we're going to do, I'm going to do a couple of spreads. This first one will be general. I'll apply it to work into a relationship, whatever, and then I'll pull qualifiers, and then I'll do a relationship only read. So we're starting off with the 4 of Pentacles and the Star. Yeah, definitely worried about money for your future. It does seem like that in some way. What I like about this, though, is, first of all, 4 of Pentacles is very good for those of you who, and I know a lot of you have been working part-time or several side hustles to try to, kind of work things out. So you can attain a much more secure position, especially if you've been working part-time at something with that 4 of Pentacles energy. But a lot of you are thinking about money for your future. You're thinking about, am I going to be okay? Just straight up, right? We don't even need to overspeak that. And it's being clarified by the Sun, which does indicate, if it is connected to career or money, this is a money luck energy where something that you do begins to pay off. You know, thinking about those long-term goals, prioritizing. Some of you may be very guided to either start a new business, update, upgrade the one that you have, realize that you're really good at something that's very monetizable. It could be something like that. Very nice energy when it comes, though, to career or money. But let me give you an example. Like, let's say you realize that you want to start a podcast, or you realize that you want to start a business, something like that. You're not just going to say, hey, it's done. No, you have to do your research. You have to get your ducks in a row. You have to figure out what's necessary for this to be successful. Right? You have to plan. You have to pre-write. Whatever it is that you're doing, you have to get your ducks in a row. But what I like about this is is certainly a change for the better after a difficult time. It just is, be a very difficult time. Now, if the Four of Pentacles does not connect to money for you, but more, because Pentacles is also connected to mental, physical, and emotional stability. And so if that being clarified by the star, you may be meeting a really important person in your life that's going to help you feel more stable. It's going to, this person or the situation is going to help you to be or become an even better version of yourself. So this could be a soul connection energy in an intimate relationship. This could be a new boss. This could be a mentor. This could be a new business partner. A new situation crossing your energy that's just going to make you be a better version of yourself, Gemini, which is great. And then look, we have the Ace of Wands, which is obviously this could be indicative of a new job, a new relationship, finding out that you're pregnant, some sort of new situation coming in, a new creative endeavor, but something with the thumbs up here. There's a lot of thumbs up energy here. And that's being clarified by the Knight of Cups, which is a proposal. I mean, this is it's a very emotional energy because it's very connected to what it is that you've been wanting to do for a long time, as well as your future. So some sort of new opportunity is coming in, okay? And you're going to feel very wrapped up in that energy, whether it's a new relationship or a new job and the responsibilities, learning the ropes, whatever it is. But you want to make sure that you do ultimately end up balancing out that energy, because you don't want to stretch yourself too thin this month, right? But again, this is a good month to, let's say you are starting a new job. Make sure you read the fine print, guys. Honestly, if you're going to be doing anything like brand new, just during Venus, and then Mercury is retrograde as well, going retrograde, but he's pre-shadow all month. Just make sure you're reading the fine print. Understand that it might not look exactly the same by the middle of September, but it doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. You can't stop life, right? You can't stop life. But I feel like there's some sort of like balance that needs to be happening within you, right? Because we have the High Priestess and the Lover's energy here. So the High Priestess is very secretive. You know, she's very connected to the moon, and the moon rules our emotions. And you may not be totally sure how you feel about something. You know, that's on the one hand. This could also indicate you and someone else in your life doing something very much on this, I'm not going to say sly, but maybe you're doing something you're really not telling anybody about it. Something's going on in your relationship, or something's going on in a business situation or within the family, and you're really not telling anybody about it. But it certainly is something that does require balance right now, because we have your card here, right? The Lover's energy is your energy. And so there's this need for, if it is having to do with a relationship, making a very mature, first of all, mature approach to some sort of decision that needs to be made. Because here, some sort of love decision is needed if it's connected to a relationship, you know, and are you both willing to equally work on the foundation of the connection, you know? And that's going to be the big delineating factor over can something change or can something not change. If you happen to be single, this is you loving yourself first, you know, truly, and really like letting go of whatever really doesn't serve you, but loving yourself first to be able to release any blocks that, you know, that might be getting in the way of you manifesting the right relationship. That you may be very much in that space too, you know, thinking about what is it that you actually even want in relationship, just in general, you know. But the Lover's energy can also be connected to work. And it's connected to choices, obviously, because it's a Gemini energy. But those choices, it's like one might seem a little easier than the other. And I'm not going to say what to do, what not to do, but you don't want to make it all about what's easiest. You don't want to make something just about the money. There is this need to pay attention to your emotions and think about the long-term balance, long-term. Because remember, long-term, even though this is your energy, Gemini, in numerology, it's connected to the devil. And the devil is Capricorn, and Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. So there's this idea of responsibility and the need for stability and connection, and the need to balance something that's been imbalanced out, right? But what may need to be balanced or, you know, balanced out right now might be your own understanding of how everything is rolling out, your own emotions, you know. You may be getting messages of wisdom that you just may be feeling rather, just kind of like your feet not very firmly on the ground at the moment. even though you may be feeling a lot more grounded within yourself, it's this, again, this lack of movement in the way that you would ideally like it to move in. Not that there hasn't been movement, but not in the way that you need or in the way that you've ideally wanted. Now we have the Seven of Swords here. Seven of Swords can certainly indicate some sort of obstacles that you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. You have the resiliency to overcome it. You're going to have the mindset to overcome it. But this is very much a defensive energy. Not that it's unfounded. It's like your morality, your personal philosophy, how you think something really should be on a deep soul level is a thing right now. And this could certainly be you establishing some sort of like boundary, goalpost. You know, don't draw the lines in the sand, because those could always be wiped away and moved. And I'm not telling you to not be immovable, but there's an energy of like, hey, wait a minute, I matter here. Or you maybe even standing up for maybe your children, or standing up for your coworkers or your colleagues. But it's definitely an energy of strength that does indicate, though, success is in your reach. But you're just going to have to exercise a little bit of patience. Now, it is connected to the moon. So where it is that you may be feeling defensive might have to do with some sort of real estate venture, something going on around the home, maybe having to do with a home extension, home improvements, buying a home, selling a home, something going on within your connection around the home, like daily responsibilities, or something even having to do with your children or your first family, you know, maybe your parents or, you know, your siblings, or simply just your emotional stability. You know, this idea of needing that right now. I mean, I definitely feel like there's a lot of need for that in the moment, you know, because you're not feeling that. So it's like being defensive about the money, feeling very sort of disillusioned about the future, hoping something works, but really not being sure. It's like your faith is kind of like a little in the toilet right now. Now, that could have a little something to do with the fact that, you know, Jupiter in Taurus is great, but it's in your 12th house. So it depends. It's in the house of the hidden. And Jupiter is very connected to our ability to feel optimistic and of faith. Now, Geminis are typically pretty optimistic people. So I'm not suggesting that you're walking around like a big mope, but I do feel like you are blind. Your ability to just have faith blindly is being challenged right now. You know what I mean? It's like, show it to me. Don't tell it to me anymore. So we have 10 of Pentacles, 7 of Wands. You look at this. I mean, the 10 of Pentacles is about shared values, money, maturity, family, commitment, you know, beautiful energy, obviously. It's, you know, inheritance, money through marriage, money from a job, you know, anything that's going to make your bank account literally mature or give your family what it is that they need. Or when it comes to shared resources, that being an exercise of the absolute commitment that you guys are on the same page. It is an energy of property. Again, this idea of sharing. But then we have the 7 of Wands. Isn't it interesting? I just realized, why was I giving you... So the 7 of Swords energy is really a lot more about like dishonesty and running away and but why did I give that to you and then this came out? I mean, to me, there are no accidents, and I'm not going backwards here at all. The 7 of Swords is very... Why did I feel the interpretation of the 7 of Wands? I must have vibed that this was coming out. Because you're very... There's this energy of protectiveness. You're going to be okay. That somebody's not being completely transparent with you. They might be exercising a little selfishness. You may feel very... like there could be promises made and then they're not followed through. And this could be very connected to your ability to feel emotionally stable. This could literally be about a home. So some sort of home opportunity falls through, or somebody says, yeah, we're gonna add a kitchen, we're gonna add a family room, and then suddenly we're like, no, we can't do that. Or something connected to that, but you sort of standing up for yourself. There is this energy of disillusionment, but you standing up for yourself. 9 of Wands. It could also be like you truly in your heart of hearts believing that there is an energy that you're dealing with right now that you truly do believe they're selfish. They're selfish, but you have the energy and the fortitude to sort of navigate some sort of situation. I'm really not worried about it for you with this 9 of Wands, but the key here is for you to stay balanced. Balance is the name of the game right now. It's the name of the game. So, because whatever you're dealing with right now, I promise you, Gemini, it is temporary. Because we have the 10 of Cups and the 10 of Pentacles and the 9 of Cups bookending here. So the 10 of Pentacles is very connected to everything I've already said. It's fabulous. It's a Mercury and Virgo energy. It's, feeling like you have what it is that you need. Family, money, the commitment, all of that stuff, right? In a very pragmatic way, but you're in this space right now where you're feeling like you have to fight for it, but you have the gumption to do it. Because this 9 of Cups energy, you're very focused on manifesting what it is that you want. This is a Jupiter and Pisces energy, just feeling more connected to your own heart. Whether this is, some of you may be just very focused on manifesting the right kind of new relationship and it coming in, the right kind of friendships, right? Friends are not hard for Geminis to make. Good friends that we trust over the long term, that could be a little trickier. So being very discriminating as well here, which is what I like. So Queen of Pentacles, beautiful energy there. Queen of Pentacles, very taking care of your body, your mind, your finances. You understand exactly what's needed for a situation. You are not incorrect. It's not in your mind. You know exactly what's needed. But then we have the 2 of Wands. So the 2 of Wands means negotiating. There's got to be some sort of decision made, right? Because the 2 of Wands always means like there are 2 choices that need to be made, right? Which is going to best maximize your skill set, which is going to best bring you where it is that you need to go. This is all about making plans and moving forward. This is so connected to partnership, whether it's, intimate or business partnership, whatever it is. You gaining a lot of influence in whatever it is that you do, whatever it is that you bring to the table. You're going to be looked at through a different lens, a very nice energy here. Overall, it's just good opportunities are on the way, allowing you to rise, allowing your star to rise, allowing your energy to be elevated, whatever it is, it's right there for you. And your thinking is on point. There is no disillusionment going on here at all. You might be feeling disillusioned that, I had so much faith in A, B, and C, but now I've learned I can't have that blind faith, especially with Jupiter in the 12th. Queen of Swords, I love it. You are so determined. You are standing strong. You're like, I got to get to the bottom of that person's psychological motivation and what the hell are they really thinking? And you being very strong in the face of any adversity or anything, any otherness that might be going on here. So I like it because I sense an energy, believe it or not, like of balance. But I just want to throw out, having Mars and Mercury and Virgo in the 4th house can make us a little difficult, around house, family situations, right? But that doesn't mean to sit and stay quiet. Just be mindful of how you deliver the information. We are Geminis after all. Our tongues are knives. How many of you have heard that? Let me know in the comments below. How many of you have heard that from like your family, your friends? You cut when you speak. Right? I'm not laughing, but I am. Because it's a superpower if we execute it in the right way. If we don't abuse it, it's one of our superpowers, right, Gemini? I say that as a Gemini sun. You know that, I'm a soul sister. Okay, guys, let's go on to relationships. All right. See what's cooking in the area of relationships. Relationships. The Fool. Ooh, I like that. Two of Wands, okay. King of Pentacles, all right. Oh, nice. You guys are doing something different into the future. What are you doing? You're moving, you're getting married, you're moving in together. What are you doing? What's going on? Something new. Look at that. We got the Strength and the Lover's energy. It's going to be important conversations to balance out any sort of issues that have been cooking up to this point. But there is something new coming in, for sure. Yes. All right. And I like the King of Pentacles with the Four of Swords. There's such a nice energy of negotiating, letting go of the past, realizing the value in letting go of the past. This is a beautiful spread. It is. So guys, remember, these are general messages. Take what resonates throughout the rest. If it's not your reading this time, maybe we'll get you next time. But this doesn't seem like it's been an easy peasy, kind of jam here. Because the Fool is Uranus, and Uranus is like, got to do something different. Thinking about the future. Not staying in something that's not healthy. I just don't see it. I just don't. I mean, Uranus is like, boom, shocking surprise, right? It's like he's that revolutionary energy. So for some of you, you may be meeting somebody new who you feel on a soul connection, like this is my person, right? This is absolutely my person, and I can't not see it. And feeling, in fact, like a very, very strong pull towards this energy, right? You could certainly be feeling that. The Star, though, is about a change for the better also. It's also about a change for the better after a difficult time and feeling a lot more hopeful, a lot more. And it's interesting because the Star is actually the Strength energy in numerology, and the Strength is the Star. So to me, that's always a very important message when we get the axis, right, from between numerology and astrology. So there's got to be some sort of balancing out, some sort of conversations that need to be had when it comes to the future. Somebody's got to be very mindful of somebody else's ego. Now, maybe you have to be that for each other. But it does seem like somebody may need to have their ego stroked, not for any other maniacal reason other than it will make them feel good. They might be struggling through a period right now of insecurity or vulnerability or something like that. But building each other up is going to go a long way. You know what I mean? Building each other up, complimenting each other, being each other's supporters, being each other's biggest fans. And even if you feel like your partner's not really doing that for you, do it for them. Don't do it to get it back. And honestly, you're going to be amazed with the power of that. And that might be a little bit of a different approach, because the Fool energy in a current relationship also means moving forward in a very different way. Going with the flow, just kind of waiting to see what happens, building each other up, balancing out whatever's been imbalanced. Because that's the Lovers. I mean, the Lovers is really about like, okay, we have something of such value here. I want it to work. If you want it to work, let's sit and work at it together. But we're going to have to work through the clouds of challenges together, but you both being on the same page. Now, with the Two of Wands is that making plans and moving forward. It's a Mars in Aries. And it's being like seriously focused on some sort of new way of handling the relationship, because it is Mars and Aries. And Mars is a warrior, and Aries is about new and novel. And the North Node is in Aries right now. And it's in your 11th house of goals and gains and where it is that you guys are going. So I do feel like, because it's working with the Judgment energy, which is all about assessing and letting go of the past, making a decision about the past, and then waking up reflective of that, and just seriously saying, that was then, that was then, this is now, as they say, obviously, but saying to yourself, like, the past truly does not have to dictate the future. There's no law anywhere that says that. We can choose to leave things in the past. Now, what does that really mean? Well, I guess it depends on what your past looked like. And so there may need to be a bit of like a releasing the layers one at a time, where trust is rebuilt, passion is rebuilt. You guys find each other in a different way. You know, it's a process. It's not a one and done kind of thing, simply because we're not robots. It's not the way the human condition works. But I do like this because you have a choice. Two of Wands. Are you going to hold on to it or not? Are you going to allow the change or not, Gemini, is the big thing, right? Because Judgment, being Pluto, is all about change, but he's also very connected to truth and needing to be very, very honest about how things have been up to this point. This is not, the Judgment energy is not the kind of energy, and Pluto is not the kind of planet who's content with saying, the past is the past and that's it. Let's just leave everything back there. Pluto's like, no. We have to acknowledge if something is bothering somebody from the past, if when the conversation comes up about something that happened and someone's emotions are triggered, that means it's not healed. So that cannot be put in the drawer anymore. That needs to be addressed. And it might need to be addressed 10 more times, 15 more times. But by saying, oh, stop, the past is the past, even telling yourself that, there's something very, and I hate to say it in the day and age that we're in, but there's something very abusive about that. It's contrary to being able to move forward with a light heart. It's almost like playing a mind game with yourself. And there's no value in that because it's only a matter of time before snakes find their way up to the surface. You know what I mean? So it's not worth that. So it might require a very important conversation where, you know, you guys are there, you're there for each other, but who is not willing to do what? Because the King of Pentacles, very, very generous energy, hardworking, wants things to be settled, wants happiness, wants that contentment, wants all of that, but has no patience for anyone looking to mess with their money, anyone who's asking them to change, anyone who's putting extra expectations that just feel viscerally uncomfortable. So whether you to them, them to you, it doesn't really matter. These things are going to need to be looked at because it's being clarified by the Four of Swords. And the Four of Swords is taking a step back for perspective. Maybe there could be some therapy going on here, couples counseling, individual counseling, whatever it is. Maybe getting a synastry read by an astrologer, whatever it is. But really looking at the shadow aspects of who's not willing to do what, and then what is the big why behind that? You know, why? You know, and your answer could just be, well, because I'm a Gemini, baby, that's why. I'm not really oh so cozy with, you know, up my butt type of commitment. You know, Gemini energies typically do need a smidge of independence within a relationship. You know, it's big energy. Geminis are a big energy. They love love. They love friendship. They love friendship within their love situations. They love to have a partner in crime. They love to do everything together and all of that. But there can be a certain level of discomfort when push comes to shove and everything gets very sort of like a little too close for comfort. So you do have to look at that within yourself when you're dealing with a relationship. Do you have a pattern in some way that you could recognize within yourself that when you get very, very close to someone, or then when someone is showing this absolute commitment and it's like where there's going to be this sort of very connected energy that can make you a little nervous, you know, and that's common for the Gemini archetype. I don't know you or what's in your chart, but that is not uncommon to be like, oh, wait a minute. And then you could easily talk yourself out of a relationship just as easily as you could talk yourself into one. So you do have to be a little careful there, you know. I'm just saying that here with this, with the Four of Swords, with the King of Pentacles, you know, because your partner might be saying, you know, why do you sabotage things as soon as things are going well? Or you may say that to them, but something that you could relate with, you know, and then really kind of getting under that and looking at that situation. Because with Pluto in the last degrees, and Pluto's in like, you know, 28 degrees more or less through the whole month in your 8th house of where we show up as a we in relationship, you're changing the way you do relationship from like what you've been doing up to this point, or at least since 2008, past 15 years. 16 years almost. LA, come on. Gemini, that's so funny. We have new life, co-create, blending, breathe, take a breath. It's okay. It's okay. Your energy's not going to implode. If you allow this, I can feel the fear. And I really don't even care how long you've been with this person. It doesn't even matter. All right, what do we have here? We have say what you mean. It's always a good thing. Say what you mean. Inner child. Okay, I like this. This is, don't be afraid to discuss those inner pains, those inner vulnerabilities, those inner situations. It depends on your age and where you're at. So, depending on where your Chiron is, like if you were born like between 1960 and 67 or so, your Chiron was in Pisces. So you have a hard time having blind faith in things, right? Certainly. And if you were born from like, middle of 67 to like 74, your Chiron is in Aries, you're probably having your nodal return right now. And that's why you might feel like you're losing your mind a little bit. You're not, okay? You're not. It's just a tricky transit. Pay attention to the signs, though. Say what you mean. Pay attention to the signs. So really pay attention to what's being triggered in reality or what kind of fear is being brought up to be looked at as well. And look at this. Laugh at your demons. Okay. I love that. Okay. I actually want to... these. I'll pull some island time for you as well. Go with the flow. Go with the flow. It's exactly what we were saying before about that Fool energy. Be open to just love and all that means. Shine your light came up reverse. So this can actually mean to me, go with the flow and be open to love. Don't be afraid to shine your light on your partner. Compliment them. Build them up. Even if it's kind of feeling contrary to what you really want to do, build them up. It's going to make you feel better. I'm telling you. Keys on a ring. Decisions, unconventional, string along, one night stand. Now, the way that this can manifest as far as a current relationship is lip service, empty promises, and then lightning, sudden change, shocking news, surprise epiphany, upheaval, and transformation. And then we have I like you. So this is about getting back to the basics here. This is romance. This is flirting with each other. This is dating each other. There's a lot of new energy in here, but I feel like a lot of it is going to be very connected to your different approach in a situation. So very interesting reading here, Gemini. This is what I have for you. I hope this was helpful in some way. Thanks, guys. I'll see you next time. Take care now. Bye-bye.